goes back to Bob Mills. I was the legislative assistant for Bob Mills in 2002, and I learned a lot because, of course, that's when Kyoto was being debated in the House of Commons. And Bob was originally against the climate scare. In fact, he did some really excellent work. He did the filibuster speech, 12 hours of speaking to try to stop Kyoto. So, I mean, he was very definitely on that side, but he switched, he changed sides. And if you look at recent history, you see that happening over and over and over. I mean, Stephen Harper, and this is something the Conservative candidates have to realize, just before he was leader of, or he was elected leader of the Canadian Alliance, he was against the climate scare. In fact, you might remember he called Kyoto a money-sucking socialist scheme.
Wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Tom, we got to put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And yet it wasn't long after he became prime minister that he actually started to support the climate scare, you know, and supporting the Paris Agreement and all that sort of thing. Now, more recently, we see Andrew Scheer. And I did a little research. Before 2017, when the Liberals introduced a bill to, or a motion to reaffirm Parliament's support of the Paris Agreement, because you remember that was when Donald Trump announced they were going to withdraw from the Paris Agreement, the United States. So the Liberals introduced a motion to reaffirm our commitment. And it's interesting because before the vote, actually 2016, before he was actually elected as leader of the Canadian Conservative Party, Andrew Scheer voted against ratification of the Paris Accord, Paris Agreement. And he was elected leader then in May 2017. Less than a month later, on June 2nd, 2017, he voted in support of the Liberals' motion to reaffirm the Paris Agreement.
And Tom, sorry to interrupt you, and he whipped that vote. So he didn't even allow dissent on that.
That's right. If you look at the vote, and I looked it up, it was 277 to 1. And to her credit, Cheryl Gallant actually voted against it. Yeah. But included in the list of people who voted for it, and this is relevant to today's discussion, not only was Andrew Scheer and Erin O'Toole, of course, but Pierre Poilievre. Pierre Poilievre voted in 2017 in support of reaffirmation of our agreement of the Kyoto Protocol. And, you know, it's interesting because you look back at Andrew Scheer, as I say, he voted against the Paris Agreement. They thought they were bringing somebody in to lead the party who was going to continue that. And then he changed only a few weeks after becoming leader. He actually, let's see here, he actually had a $250 million green tech and innovation fund that he wanted to bring in.
Like to get access to my show as well as other great TV style shows too, like Ezra's Nightly Ezra Levant Show and David Menzies' Friday night show Rebel Roundup, just go to rebelnews.com/subscribe. That's rebelnews.com/subscribe.